and together they welcomed 3 children into their lives: Se, Mora, and their youngest daughter, Sia. Young was a dedicated family man whose greatest pride and joy came from the accomplishments of his children and grandchildren. His career as a businessman led him to an import-export business in Battambang, Cambodia, but he and his family experienced unimaginable hardships during the Cambodian Khmer Revolution in the 1970s. Forced to flee their home under perilous circumstances, they journeyed barefoot with only the clothes on their backs, and against all odds, Young and Suan successfully navigated their way to safety, ultimately reaching Thailand and the Philippines before being sponsored by Tony and Jerry Hale of the Southside Baptist Church in Henderson, Texas in 1981. I'm going to pause there because that is when the Lee family came into my life. As I remember when they moved to Henderson, my father, who had lived on the Cambodian border in the early 1960s in Thailand, in Aranyapathet, Thailand. When the Lee family arrived, people in Henderson didn't have a lot of experience with Cambodian culture and Cambodian peoples, but people knew that my father had lived in Thailand, and they thought, well, that's somewhere over there, they knew. And they said, well, let's bring them to meet. And I seem to have this early childhood memory of my father and Huang meeting, visiting your house, and I seem to remember this debate that took place between them. It was a debate, one speaking one language, one speaking the other, for they did not have a common language. But the debate was about shoes. For my father, having lived in Thailand, he knew the custom and the culture was not to wear shoes inside the house. So he had prepared his little boys, who we were probably in 3rd grade I was in 3rd, my brother was in 4th grade at the time. He says, when we get there, we're going to take our shoes off, which we thought that was very strange for Henderson. But he was preparing us to be respectful to the family. But upon our arrival, Young wanted to be respectful of our culture. And so this debate ensued of him saying, come in, don't worry about your shoes, and my dad saying to his boys, no, take them off. Such was the gratitude that he had for his new home that he had found in Henderson, that he was ready to adapt to the culture, getting fully involved in the religion, in the church of those who had sponsored him. Such was a heart of gratitude for a new home. Finding refuge in East Texas, Young demonstrated remarkable adaptability and determination. He found local housing and took a job at International Paper, marked their new life as American citizens. In the late 1980s, the family moved to Dallas. This is the saddest part of the story to me because they took away my dear friend Sela, but I know it was good for the family. But the family moved to Dallas, residing in Carrollton, where Young continued to contribute to his family's well-being by working at Dallas Semiconductor. He was a man of generosity. Young often extended help to friends and family members, regardless of his limited means. I was talking to Say earlier, he says he thinks if he added up all that he loaned and never got paid back, it would surpass $50,000. He cherished his family. He enjoyed the simple pleasures in life. His love for food was evident in his fondness for noodles, with one of his favorite places being Pho Pasteur, which I have eaten there with Sela a number of times. talked to me about following his father, who was going to eat noodles, and hiding in a corner to see if he noticed him. And his dad noticed him before school, skipping. And his father called him over, let him have some noodles, and then sent him back off to school. Young also found joy in long walks around the neighborhood and taking time to lift weights at home. Sundays were often devoted to cheering on the Dallas Cowboys, with a friendly wager now and then adding to the excitement. As Young Lee's legacy lives on through his beloved family, he will be remembered for his strength, love, and unwavering support. He is survived by his wife and his sons and his daughter and his cherished grandchildren, who will carry forward his spirit and values. So there's a lot of homes that he had. And in each home, his life was touched, and he touched lives. There's a famous poem about the dash, about what is on a tombstone. What matters not is the first number or the last number, but the dash in between. And Young's dash, his life was filled through touching lives and having his life touched. We heard about how he worked hard for his family, how he was generous as our Lord was generous, how he was protective as our Lord is protective of his children.